Alright, hey guys, how's it going? So just before this video starts, I just sort of want to explain why I'm doing it. So my first, season review, the Bulldogs one, didn't give views. I wasn't expecting it to give views. That doesn't bother me. But after making that video, I really enjoyed just talking footy. Like even though I'm just talking to myself, really, I really just enjoyed talking it. So I've just sort of made the decision I'm going to make the rest of them anyway, just for myself, just for a bit of fun. And then also, like, another main reason is because you might not be able to hear it right now, but it's hammering down rain. So, I can't get out to the fields and actually, go make some actual footy videos. So I figured, I want to do something, I want to make something, so I figured I'd just, make a couple more season reviews. If they give views, sweet. If they don't, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I'm just making these for a bit of fun. Alright. But with that out of the way, alright, we have 15th place Cowboys this time. Alright, so, again, like the last one, I'm just going to sort of looking out the side because I've got just a couple of, notes here to try to keep me on track so I don't ramble for too long. So, if you see me looking over there, that's why. Alright, but yeah, so Cowboys season. 7 wins, alright, 15th, that's expected. 82 tries scored, 143 conceded. That's not terrible. Like, obviously, it could be a lot better, but, it's not terrible, especially considering all the issues they had throughout the season, which we'll get into it a bit later. You can see the meters gained to meters conceded. That's actually very close. I think, something like 130 meter difference. That's really good. So that's really good. The biggest one for the Cowboys is offloads. 16th in the comp with 163. Right? For the past, 4 or 5 years, the Cowboys game has been built off of second phase play off the back of quick play the balls, offloads, stuff like that. So the fact that that is so low is telling as to why they struggled so badly this season. Right? A lot of their tries, if I remember correctly, I saw an article of it. I'm pretty sure most of their tries came in the second half of each half, so from the 20th minute to the 40th and the 60th to the 80th. So I think in a way that sort of shows as well that second phase play is where they're best at because once the defense starts getting tired, they can start moving the ball a bit more. They score most of their tries. Right? So yeah, I think for the most part, I think their attack was pretty poor. Right? Which is something I'll get into a bit later with a couple of the people that I'm going to talk about, a couple of the individuals that I'm going to talk about. Right? Their attack was poor. I don't think their spine had any consistency or leadership in it at all, and I think that really screwed them over. Same as the Bulldogs, right? The spine really let down the Cowboys this season. No, excuse me, I'm a bit sick. But yeah, as well as their forwards, I don't think their forwards are that great, which is something I'll get into with one specific forward that I'll talk about. But yeah, overall, I think the season was pretty expected. I rated them as finishing I put them as finishing 14th this season. No, sorry, not 14th. I put them as the Wooden Spooners this season. I put the Tigers as 14th, which is the one I'm going to do next week or the week after. So sorry, because I just got all the list up there. I put the Cowboys to finish 16th. Right, so them finishing 15th is not surprising to me. I thought the Bulldogs would do a little bit better. Maybe that was me being a bit biased and being a bit hopeful, but yeah, I thought the Cowboys would be bottom 2, bottom 3. So yeah, this season was, like I said, expected from me. I think their attack, was just, like I said, it was very lackluster. They've always been a second phase team, and they didn't do that this season. And I think that's what cost them. I think that's what really screwed them over in the end. All right. So next we're going to talk about, just individual players and stuff like that. Oh, excuse me. The first one I want to talk about is the coach, Todd Payten. I don't think he's very good, personally. I think he's not what the Cowboys need. What the Cowboys need is they need an experienced head at the lead. And Payten just isn't that. If the likes of if the likes of JT, Thurston was still playing, then someone like Peyton could have been a good fit for them because, he could have sort of learnt on the job and like out on the field just thirsted with all his experience and all his ability. He wouldn't necessarily have had to have carried the team, but, he could have like, helped a bit more, like on the field. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about Peyton. I don't think he's that great. I think next season, again, the Cowboys are going to struggle. And I wouldn't be surprised if Peyton gets moved on to somewhere else. Cowboys once again are like sort of bottom 3 for me next season. Even like, as far as I'm aware, they haven't made any signing stuff like that, but that's not the point. Yeah. I think next season, I think Peyton will be lucky if he keeps his job. Because, I think the Cowboys will struggle. All right, the next player I want to quickly touch on is Michael Morgan. Very unfortunate for Michael Morgan. I think he is a fantastic player, or he was a fantastic player. Obviously, this season he's had to sort of like force retirement due to injury and stuff like that. That's really unfortunate. Even though he's I'm a New South Welshman. Even though he's a Queenslander, I always respected Morgan. Like he's been an excellent player for many years, and like I don't think he got the credit he deserved because he was playing alongside Thurston. Right? That. What year was it? The grand final, was it 2015 they won the grand final? 2015, 2016? They won that grand final because of Morgan. If Morgan doesn't get that ball down that short side, take on 3 people, carry 3 people, then get the handoff for the offload out the back to Felt, they don't win that grand final, He's just been a phenomenal player. So the fact that he's had to be sort of forced into retirement and he can't retire on his own, on his own free will of his own choice, that's a bit unfortunate. So, yeah, that's really unfortunate. I reckon the Cowboys would have been a bit better this year if he'd been able to keep playing. All right, next is Taumalolo. Injuries aside this season, I think he had a terrible season, and I don't think it's his fault. All right, I think Peyton has horribly mismanaged Taumalolo. Taumalolo's whole game is run hard, get an arm free, offload. Oh, excuse me. Run hard, get an arm free, offload. Run hard, get an arm free, offload. Or just run hard, break 3 or 4 tackles, get the defense on the back foot so you can build off the back of it. But Peyton just decided, nah, you're not doing that this year. You're going to do something else. You're going to play for half an hour, then you have like a 40-minute break, and then you're going to play for another half hour or something like that. It's like just horribly mismanaged. Right, and that showed in his numbers. Taumalolo's numbers were the lowest they've ever been in his career, I think, or close to the lowest they've ever been in his career, across the board for run meters, offloads, all of it. So yeah, Taumalolo poorly mismanaged. I don't know if it's because maybe Peyton and the Cowboys are worried that because of how hard Taumalolo plays, he won't be able to last the whole length of the contract that they offered him. But at the end of the day, that's their fault. They gave him that contract. They have to accept that. They have to just move forward with it. When you have a player of Taumalolo's skill, you don't want him being used half-assedly. You want him going at 100 miles an hour, 100 k's an hour, full speed ahead, carrying the team. That's what he does. He carries the team. But obviously that didn't happen this year. Down season for Taumalolo. I think both Peyton and the Cowboys will learn from this, and next season we'll see the Taumalolo of old again. I think they'll put him back in lock and they'll just say, look, just go. Do your thing, just go, and we'll play off the back of it. I think that's what we'll see next year. Next is Valentine Holmes. See, he's a tough one. He's a really tough one because he's a great player. He's a fantastic player, but in my opinion, he's not a fullback. He's a winger. Maybe that's just my opinion. Maybe other people think differently, but I don't think he's a fullback. It's hard to explain because he doesn't do a bad job at fullback. He does a good job there, but in today's game, he's not a fullback. In today's game, your fullbacks need to be a playmaker. They need to be, a try assister as well as a try scorer. They need to be doing... They're essentially a second 5'8", right? They also need to have a bit of a kicking game, right? Valentine Holmes doesn't have that. He's a finisher. Go back 4 or 5, maybe 6 seasons, then yeah, Valentine Holmes is a fullback, guaranteed. But in today's game, the way it is now, the way it's moving forward, he's not a fullback for me. He's a winger. Like, still played well all throughout the season. I think he did. I think he had a solid season. But yeah, I think in the future he needs to be shifted onto the wing. And something just popped up on my screen. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think in the future, I think he definitely needs to play on the wing, and someone we'll talk about a little bit later, I think should be shifted into fullback. Next is Scott Drinkwater. Jesus Christ, how did I say that so badly? Scott Drinkwater. I think he had a really good season. Like, I think this was his debut season, or like his first like proper season where he was like head honcho, if you will, the one in charge. And I think he did decent. I think he has ability. I think he has potential. And if the Cowboys can build around him properly, then I think they could build a really good squad around him. Like, I think, like I just said, he has really good talent. I think he reads the game very well. I think he sets his team up properly. He gets them in the right place at the right times. And I think he's just a fantastic organizer, as well as he's a good runner of the ball. He's got a good kick on him. I think he's the quintessential halfback of today's game. Like, give him a couple years of experience, right? Get a couple years of experience under his belt where he can be a bit more of that director as opposed to just like the runner, the hard runner. Then I think he could be a top halfback in top half or top 5'8" in the competition. He's got that ability. He's got that potential. All right, and the last is, I'm not going to say his name because I know I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but the Hammer. All right. For me, I think he needs to play fullback. Just his speed is unmatched. It's unbelievable. To have that level of speed at fullback, it will create opportunities across the board, like just across the field. Right? To have that level of acceleration, like, if you get him sweeping on the outside, it doesn't matter how late he gets the ball, how bad the play is, if they mess it up, if they stuff it up. His speed alone will make up for it, because he could catch the ball late, he could catch the ball early, but then his speed with how he's running, he could just burn past everyone anyway and still create. And the reason I'd put him at fullback now is because he's young. So he's got that time to improve his passing game, maybe get a bit of a kicking game, right? Learn how to read the defense, when to pass, when to run, when to do this and that. Like, so I think he's the future of the Cowboys at fullback. That's where I'd be playing him at least, because I think he's just incredible talent. I think he had a fantastic season, breakout year this year. I think he was fantastic, and he's going to be a player to watch for the next 10 years. Like, he is going to be up there as one of the best in the NRL. That's it for individuals. Like, I could probably talk about a few more, but I don't want this one to be too long. The Bulldogs one was like 25 minutes. I don't want it to be too long. So my overall thoughts on the season, like I said at the start, I thought they'd come last. Obviously, again, because, maybe I was being a bit biased and hoping the Bulldogs would do a bit better. But I thought they'd be 15th, 16th, so I'm not surprised. Which actually surprised me in a way, because when I was looking it up, most people thought they'd be finishing in like the 9 to 12, 10 to 12 range, like maybe competing for the top 8. Like, I don't know how they saw that. Like, with a new coach coming in, new players, losing JT, I didn't think they'd do well. I thought they'd struggle, and, they did. So, right? Positives from this, positive from this season, like, they bled in the new players. Like I said, the Hammer came in, Drinkwater finally got his real shot. There's a few others, I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but they bled in some young talent, and that young talent performed very well. Alright, so that's great for them. But then obviously on the other end, they had some important players retire or have to leave or retire due to reasons, such as Morgan. Like I said before, if Morgan was in the team, I think they'd definitely push up the table a little bit more this season. But bleed in some new players. Like, the future looks good for the Cowboys if they're able to keep like some of these young players that they've bled through. And then finally, like I said, I just don't believe in Payton. Like I said, I think next year, I think he might get the sack. Like, genuinely, I do. I just, like, not that he's a bad coach, but I don't think he's ready. Like, you can still be a good coach, but just not be ready. Like, I think he needs maybe just 2 or 3 more years under under another coach, just to learn his craft, master his craft a bit better. And then he can take a head coaching gig. But just at the moment, I just don't think he's. I don't think he knows how to handle the egos. I don't think he knows how to play and manage, just yet. I think he's got a lot to learn, and just the Cowboys in the situation they're in, it's just not a good learning, environment for a coach. Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be my Cowboys 2021 review. Obviously, it's a bit shorter than my Bulldogs one, but I don't go for the Cowboys, so I don't have as much to talk about. And I want to try and keep these a little bit shorter because I feel like if they're too long, like I'll just start rambling. So I want to keep them a little bit shorter. But yeah, that's the review. Let me know what you thought of the Cowboys season in the comments. If you want to, if you want to talk to me about it, talk to me. Talk to me about it. Like I'll happily respond to comments. I don't mind. Like if you disagree with things I said, if you agree, let me know, and we can discuss it. Like I just, like I've said in the past, I just love talking rugby league, and I'm happy to just, reply to people and talk to them about it. But yeah, with that said, guys, I'll probably record a few more of these, just again because of the rain. Like I can't get out to the fields and kick a footy around, unfortunately. So yeah, the next couple videos will probably be a few more of these until like the rain clears up and I can finally get back down to the fields. But yeah. Yeah, so with that, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, take it easy. Have a good one.